window.
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
All right, here we go.
Out of the gun, Simeon.
Three down.
And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. And down he'll go at the 25. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Now let's go. Gun.
54.
From the gun on 3rd, Simeon. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here we go. Here we go. Go to 50. Here we go. Kill. Here we go.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Following the interception, here's Prescott.
Hey, watch the edge.
And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. A good pickup there of 20 yards. The numbers for Dak as a rookie last year are still kind of mind-boggling. And you look at QB rating. Dak was 104.9. Now, among full-time quarterbacks, only 2 Super Bowl quarterbacks, Matt Ryan and Tom Brady, were higher.
And look who he finished ahead of. Guys like Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson. Amazing.
And now the offense operates in the red zone.
Kill.
Yeah. You don't want none.
Here we go. 180. Then we're going to 53.
Shit.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And that is caught. It's Witten for the Cowboy touchdown. Jason Witten, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Bailey now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, here's Simeon.
Well, they did throw it.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Sean Lee from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
That's what I'm talking about.
Detroit!
Go ahead, take a seat.
Here we go now.
Back to throw, Simeon. And this one is incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. An update now from Oakland. The Jets out to the early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They go play action here on first down. Going deep here for Bryant. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Akeem Talib. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Good job. That was a great pick. Good job.
Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we send you on down to our studios in Orlando, where standing by is Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Jeff Swaim, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
Kill. Here we go. Wide eight.
Check.
Here we go. Going to 54. Wide eight.
The give is to Elliott. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a third down and 6 to go.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
Here we go.
Prescott from the gun. He completes it to Bryant. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller coming in from that outside linebacker spot to bury him for a loss of 7. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's third and long.
Here we go. We're going to 54.
Come to our work. We want it.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And he's going to go down again.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease ball? And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. David Irving able to swamp him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5.
They cannot hold us.
Here's Simeon now on second down. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force an incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Broncos on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. Now it's Simeon. Now Simeon stripped. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Slot man moves right. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Take 4, take 4. Single.
2nd down, Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Tighten up.
Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. On the NFL scoreboard, 3rd quarter from Oakland. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
Hey, we got tight left. Hurry up, here we go.
Now a 1st down throw, Simeon. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. David Irving in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
All right, here we go. 54. Right there. 54, Mike. No. Check. Blue line.
To throw on 2nd is Simeon. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. David Irving in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Simeon in need of something big following that sack, facing 3rd and long.
Strong right.
A shotgun snap for Simeon. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Now Brown. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Not today, you aren't. Not today.
There we go.
Go, Mike 51. Mike 51. Hey.
Off the play fake, Prescott. And on the left side, he's got Witten. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. A gain of 6 there on first.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
A second down throw for Prescott. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys. After the sack, it's 3rd and long.
There we go.
51 right. 51
Kill.
right.
There we go. Kill. Gun.
Tight dog.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Looking downfield for Dez. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dez Bryant, 77 yards. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On first down, Simeon. The catch is made. Benny Fowler. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first. Now a play fake here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Anthony Hitchens in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. To throw is Simeon. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Anthony Hitchens in there again as he's able to pick up sacks on both first and second down.
Detroit! All right, here we go. Woo! That's what I'm talking about.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Check 24. Watch 24.
Gun. Over. Here we go now.
3rd and long. It's Simeon. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
We got three
Here
down.
we go.
Desperation time for Simeon on 4th. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Anthony Hitchens in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A first down carry by Elliott. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. Bailey now to kick this one away.
Touchdown. There we go. Nice move. Nice move.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points. So they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down
caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Now the offense lining up first and 10. From the gun, here's Simeon. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. It's Jordan Lewis, the rookie out of Michigan. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Well, you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I'll bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They run it again with Anderson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Tight end right, tight end right.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 64 yards. somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. They are, by the way, into the fourth quarter now in Oakland, and it was the Jets coming away victorious there. A win would be their first of the young season. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. They give them 14 yards that time, and a press shutdown. They keep on the ground with Elliott, and he's got room. Jukes by at the 20. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they...
And that's caught inside the 35. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
One last throw here for Simeon. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Dallas, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.